Strong Pokémon. Weak Pokémon. Truly skilled trainers should try to win with the Pokémon they love best. This is arguably the most significant and memorable quote from the Pokémon franchise, from Johto's Elite Four trainer, Karen. A bold statement that affirms that there's no right or wrong Pokémon to use in your team, just the ones that you want to win with. Which doesn't include any of these guys. A Reddit thread from 8 years ago surveyed Pokemon players on who they used in their teams, leading to a spreadsheet that detailed who were the most and least utilized Pokemon in each region. This led to a brilliant video by the channel Hermes, where he played through Pokemon Leaf Green using the least popular choices in Kanto, and this inspired me to do much the same within Pokémon SoulSilver, using the least popular Johto Pokemon and attempting to take them to the Hall of Fame. So let's see who doesn't get enough love, and make legends out of them. Or we just crash and burn and I delete the video. Now, fortunately for us, the second we start this adventure, we already have access to an unused partner Pokemon before tackling the first gym. This does first involve picking up my favorite Johto starter, who, rather fittingly, is the least popular choice and behind a bunch of other encounters. Like, it's almost impressive to be this underutilized as a starter, but I still love you anyway, buddy. It's okay. Nevertheless, we're able to trek through the opening routes of this game before reaching Violet City to get our true first recruit for this run. Unown. Okay, maybe this was a bad idea. I mean, like, yeah, Unown is initially a pretty cool concept, but considering that its mythos leads to diddly squat, it has pretty bad stats, and the only move it can learn is a move that's opaque by design, I think the question isn't why is this so underused, and more why did 17 trainers use Unown? But hey, this E-shaped Unown is the one I eventually found that had hidden power Psychic, and so our Chikorita will be watching from afar in its eternal prison as we can truly start to take on the Johto region. Now, you're going to need to follow along closely from the word go, because our strategy is pretty advanced even this early on. We hit A, and we win. Which, I know, Wolfie Glick just broke out into a cold sweat somewhere, but as amazing and smart as I am to have come up with this strategy, turns out that this isn't a guaranteed win for some reason. Unfortunately, Unown's fairly obvious shortcomings come to roost the second a halfway decent trainer appears in this game. In this case, it's the fairly unassuming gym leader Faulkner. An illegal Pidgeotto doesn't seem like much of a hurdle compared to every other option available to us, yet Unown manages to square that circle by being wank. Pidgey can lower our accuracy too to make matters worse, though even then, it'd be a bit rich to blame just that. It's already looking a little bit hopeless, and we've barely even made it off the starting line, sadly. But in this moment of darkness, a quote rung out to me. Strong Pokemon. Weak Pokemon. Use a stronger version of a Pokemon. So I just go and catch a bunch of Unown until we find one that can hit flying types super effectively instead. Perhaps it's a little heartless to replace our beloved E. You know, you're meant to have this everlasting bond with the creatures you catch and train and love, but like, at least Chikorita has some company now. And this other much cooler and better E is exactly what we needed to get past the first hurdle, as the difference in damage successfully puts away both of Faulkner's birds for a routine first gym badge. Thankfully, we've made it through the tough part of the early game, and now we can head to the bug type gym leader. Well, we had a good run, but it's over. No, seriously, this is really it for a regular run of the least used Pokemon in this game. Faulkner's birds made for a pretty hardy fight, yet Bugsy's invertebrates are an impossible endeavor for any and every Unown. Super effective U-turns would shatter each and every letter of the alphabet we control into a delicious alphabet soup, and we are stuck. It's genuinely impossible, at least when trying not to consciously overlevel or use items in battle, because what's the fun in that really? We could just get to level 100, but that's a really lame way to win in this run, whereas I want our team of unloved Pokemon to earn the titles. Sadly, that doesn't look like it'll be the case. Well, we might as well just head back home. Oh, wait, hang on. The egg that we all know and love from this game is ready to hatch. I don't think it'll be able to do much for us, though. Like, it's surely not going to be an unpopular Pokemon or anything. Oh my god, it's a Christmas miracle, guys! The egg had a Delibird in it, a Pokemon exclusive to SoulSilver, only able to be found typically before the 8th gym. Think about that, by the way, just think about that. Has made an early entrance in this run and can come and save us in our time of need. Sure, a floating psychic letter might be pretty easy prey for this mantis, but with a tandem partner with a favourable typing, I'm now feeling the spirit of St. Nicholas. Okay, so I'm noticing a few problems. Firstly, Delibird's only move right now is Present, which has 90% accuracy. Secondly, Delibird has the ability Hustle, which boosts a Pokemon's offense by 50%, yet lowers accuracy of physical moves by 20%, so a bit of a pain. But the last little wrinkle I may have missed is that Delibird is born if you manage his faculty to understand sin. This guy is shit from an arse, I'm sorry. Its stats are pretty awful even at this point in the game, which is crazy, but until Generation 7 when Game Freak learned the true meaning meaning of pity, it could only learn present by level up. And Johto tends to ration out good moves teachable via TM, so that's all we're stuck with. An inaccurate attack, compounded by hustle, that is also a lottery with bad odds compressed into a single move. I wonder why people don't use this guy so much. It's just a real head scratcher when you think about it. No joke, not only did our duo struggle to square up to a ladybug, I somehow felt worse now against Bugsy with this guy because it seemed like it just wanted to ruin my day with some maddening luck. Present has a 28% chance to miss and a 14% chance to heal. In this fight against Bugsy, I healed it once and missed it twice. Yeah, no, okay, that's enough Pokemon for a lifetime. Christmas is cancelled, and I'm going to head back to New Barktown to start my true passion of sports betting instead. Oh wait, hang on. Is that another egg that I found off screen that's ready to hatch conveniently at this time as well? I mean, that's just ridiculous, but the odds are surely against us here that it'll help us and... Oh my god, it's another Christmas miracle! Though all I got in my stocking was a SoulSilver. The holiday spirits are truly alive and well in July for some reason, as this water rock type is very underutilized in its debut generation. Though unlike Delibird, which is a pretty useful type, yet found way too late and bad, SoulSilver is rather unremarkable in the sea of aquatic Pokemon, as well as pretty rare unless you have the Super Rod. Put it this way, by the time you can obtain it, you're probably not substituting the red Gyarados for some pink coral. But to us, this is a true gift from the heavens, as SoulSilver can learn the conveniently located TM for Rock Tomb in Union Cave, and though it's not renowned for attack, this can keep us going because thankfully SoulSilver is neither a one-shot icon or a hustler like Delibird. This is officially the worst Christmas I've ever had. Mercifully, the lack of accuracy can be ignored with a bit of luck, as its boost to physical attacks means that when SoulSilver gets the chance, it can clear Bugsy Cypher in a single shot, thankfully getting us through this nightmare. I guess it just goes to show, strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. Illegally hack the game instead. No matter how much of a tribulation that was though, I'm feeling particularly galvanized with SoulSilver. Sure, look at our team right now, and try not to imagine me as Sisyphus. Yet we now have a centerpiece to this team which I'm incredibly grateful for. One which can crush the team of our heinous rival, before arriving in Goldenrod City. Although, even with an absolutely daunting fight awaiting us, I do have to make one more concession for this run. See, of the 6 least used Pokemon in Johto, one of the final teammates we'd obtain in this run is everyone's 6th favorite Pokemon beginning with the letter Q, Qwilfish. And I'd love to fling this fish into the Hall of Fame, if not for the fact that I kind of already have. The reason why Qwilfish is used so little is probably already answered in my video where I beat Pokemon Heart Gold using the rarest encounters. It's incredibly difficult to obtain, though nonetheless fun to include on the team. But considering I've already used it, I figured it would be more interesting to use the next least used Pokemon instead, which, honestly, feels far more befitting for this run, as that means that we can include Johto's finest to our roster, Sunkern. Consider that Chikorita already takes a lot of chagrin for being a grass type in a fluorophobic region, then make it the canonical weakest Pokemon of the franchise. More people get syphilis than Sunkern in Johto, yet it just feels right for the bottom of the barrel to find its place in a team of the least used Pokemon, and all the more motivation for me to defy their destinies, which, thankfully for Sunkern, can be quickly counteracted thanks to the bug catching contest. Getting first prize gives us the Sunstone, which already takes it from an F-tier seedling to an F-tier fully evolved Pokemon, though it does have some pretty great stats relative to the team, especially in its special attack, so I'm feeling cautiously optimistic with the quartet at our disposal as we enter the Goldenrod Gym. Wait, no guys, I don't think I need another Christmas miracle, but I guess we've got another egg that's ready to hatch. So Whitney is up next, and with typical teams to this point, it can be pretty troublesome if you're not properly prepared for it. But we don't have a typical team, which makes me feel like we might have the advantage, surprisingly. Like, really, who'd bring a Sunflora to this gym? Not your average trainer, yet it's still someone who can see the potential. Buff up our special attack with Growth, risk our luck with Clefairy, then heal back to full health with Mega Drain. This just leaves her with Miltank, but we're in the driver's seat, so long as we don't get flinched. So long as we don't get flinched again. So long, Gay Bowser. Like, okay, we do win the next battle immediately, this time leaving it to Captain SoulSilver to bulk up with defense kills. But what does that say about this team? A small bit of bad luck in a pretty favourable position, and we just fell apart one after the other. It's a little bit worrying, to be completely transparent, that we struggled so much during the early game. Yet conquering Miltank means that we're now able to enter the mid-game of Pokemon Silver, which is somewhat of a different tale. First things first, Ecruteak City is a pretty valuable checkpoint for us to reach. Clearing the Rocket Grunt out of the theatre gives us the HM gem for Surf, which is a monumental upgrade for Corsola's bubble. Second to this, however, is the fact that teammate number 5 is on the outskirts of this area too. Despite how many unique and typically underrated Pokemon seem to be present in this area, the one that rises above the rest as truly underutilized is actually Stantler. Thinking about it, it does make quite a bit of sense. Similar to Corsola, there's plenty of normal types to get on your team in this game. Thankfully though, it has a pretty great base stat total, and though its move pool seems to be a confusing mishmash of special and physical attacks, it leaves us with options to fill the team with. Albeit my confidence in Stantler for the Ghost type gym, which is already pretty high, is bolstered by a returning teammate who really comes in clutch for us. The OGE is back, everybody! Stab Hidden Power Psychics are pretty useful almost exclusively against the gym trainers in Necrotique, giving me some greater trust in this squad when we step up to Morty. In spite of us being outsped, his team of ghosts tend to try and toy with us instead of attacking outright, meaning Unown is able to break through his lead Ghastly before stepping aside for the true ace of this battle. 20 base power Astonishes still do remarkable damage against the fragile Gengar line, meaning his first Haunter goes down quickly. Gengar is admittedly far more threatening with its speed and level advantage, but despite that, we still don't buckle with our big horn Pokemon, as thanks to it learning Hypnosis, we're able to continuously put Morty's ace to sleep, chipping away at it reliably again and again until we prevail. His final Haunter can only damage us with Sucker Punches, meaning that for the first time this run, we didn't need to go back to the drawing board, nor did we need to cheese our way with inaccessible Pokemon. Just a straightforward win thanks to a pretty commanding Stantler. What's up with your butt though, dude? Do you need to see a doctor or something? Well, whatever's going on with that is none of my business. What is on the agenda is teammate number 6, who can round out our full team now that we're able to surf outside of battle. With this, we can backtrack through Union Cave to reach the other side of the ruins of Alph, and rummage around in the previously inaccessible grass to find our final teammate, Smeargle. It's quite an interesting Pokemon to have on the team, but I think it'll really... It's quite an interesting Pokemon to have on the team, but... It's quite an interesting Pokemon. It's quite an interesting dude. What the fuck? Alright guys, if this ball catches Smeargle, you have to like the video and subscribe. Okay, but could you just do it anyway? Thankfully, we caught Smeargle on our first try, and it's quite an interesting Pokemon to have on the team. With its ability to learn any move, it's incredibly malleable, albeit I'm not entirely sure what we need right now. That said, we're at a pretty significant milestone. We have our full roster for the rest of this game, and with Johto's mid-game admittedly being a bit of a hodgepodge, it's actually beneficial for us to see what all of our Pokemon can bring to the table. At the present moment, it's not looking fantastic, let's be real. Against the Red Gyarados in the Lake of Rage, if not for the fact that we could brute force with our numbers advantage, we'd have some serious problems as it takes out most of our team, and this precedes squads of multiple equally powerful Pokemon at the top of the mountain. So, strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. Regardless of that, where does our current team strive? Let's start with our team's co-pilot, a frosty flying type that I couldn't trust to hit a wall, let alone most opponents. In spite of this, with the map opening up significantly, this allows us to find a lifeline for Delibird with the Pluck TM. Although it's still not 100% accurate thanks to Hustle, it now has a stab physical move that it can throw its weight behind. So, when we step up to Chuck with a Nightmare Blunt rotation, I figured things would be tough, yet less of a relentless struggle. He has 2 formidable fighters that we technically have the advantage over, but in the same way a Kiddie Pool has a technical advantage over a Forest Fire, our Unown super effective hidden powers would chip somewhat into Primeape, but its ability to raise its evasion is absolutely terrifying. And before long, Unown meets its maker thanks to a critical hit Rock Slide. This means our best bet is sadly a visually impaired Festive Duck, who has dropped the ball at every turn this run. But it doesn't matter. Delibird manages to find its mark with a Pluck against all the odds to take down Chuck's lead, and when Poliwrath makes its entrance, Pluck not only steals its berry to prevent it from healing, but we tank a Body Slam before hitting every single move. For as frustrated as I found this goober since its introduction, this fight alone shattered that perception. Bryce, in the meanwhile, reaffirmed that on occasion, a little bit of luck can be a lot of fun. Corsola managing to boost all its stats immediately with Ancient Power meant that we checkmated his team the second the fight started, proving to me once again that Corsola is somehow the Pokemon shining through the best in this run by conquering a gym by itself. I'm starting to feel the hype. And while I'm keeping Smeargle on the backbench for the meanwhile, with Unown surely giving it good company, Jasmine is the trainer that the rest of our team will be proving their might over. Neither Stantler nor Sunflora seem to have something for her steel types. In fact, Jasmine's trio are quite daunting to our whole squad. But our rejects are nevertheless able to really demonstrate that they can step up for us. Sunflora, for instance, manages to buff its special attack with Growth fight through both confusion and paralysis to petal dance past her first Magnemite, as well as cripple her Ace Steelix in order for our Ace to wash it up. Admittedly, Stantler is a capable Pokemon that didn't see much shine through the mid-game bosses, yet it's still an incredibly reliable Pokemon to do damage and even limit the opponent thanks to Confuse Ray. So much so that we can safely bring Sunflora back into the fight to finish it all off. It felt weird to think about what we started with, what we had to cobble together to even get this run off the ground. But despite how unorthodox this run is, god damn, it was charming by the 7th gym. We're still not in the clear, per se. Our mysterious rival re-emerging during Team Rocket's final actions in this game demonstrated that we still have shortcomings. A decently powerful and well-rounded team puts our back against the wall, even when we win. But I nonetheless had a moment of clarity when approaching Team Rocket's Archer. I entered the lift with a Delibird, and that felt fine. The big bad in this game can't even be a Corsola that I called Buttcrack. A team of undesirables had saved the Johto region, effectively marking the end of Johto's midgame in dominant fashion. And then we made our way to Blackthorn City, and the whimsy fun of this journey that we'd been building up just shattered. I knew full well that our team wasn't cut from the same cloth of the clear Johto favourites, but even with that in mind, I still vastly overestimated what a Delibird could do in a Dragon-type gym. Picking up the move Avalanche seems like a pretty good fit to hit our target super effectively, but that requires our Delibird to take a hit, and we can't. A Horsey rinses our answer to this gym in one shot, which is the pre-evolution of the gym's ace. Paired with 2 formidable Dragonair and a Gyarados, which has already put our team through the ringer, and our confidence going into Claire was damaged. Let's put it this way, in our fight against her, so much goes our way. Corsola can stall Gyarados' Dragon Rages with Recover. We managed to get a critical hit against it after it heals, before Stantler's Confuse Ray lets us get by pretty unharmed sans our race. We were able to use our more expendable teammates to securely bring in Delibird against Dragonair, clearing it out. And we get a lucky dodge against the second one to finish it with Stantler. Despite all of this, we did not win. The cards were in our favour, the numbers stacked up for us, and we still snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. That sucked. But look, we still have a Smeargle, right? I've refrained from using it so as to not waste what could be incredibly pivotal for us. And now's the perfect chance to get that little bit ahead. Then I looked at Smeargle's stats. Look at them. Look at those dismal attacks. What's 75 base speed really good for when it can do jack shit with it? This was the Pokemon I'd have to rely on to get by Claire. It just made me think how warped my mind was during this run. I was happy about having a Corsola. That's just absurd, and that's not even the worst part. We had a useless floating letter since day one, a terrible and unreliable flying type to pair with it, one of the most laughably pathetic Pokemon in the franchise. I don't even know you, but I'm sure you're a jerk, and our last hope against a Dragon Master is a paltry Poodle. It's just hopeless, isn't it? What else can you do? Well, I guess you try and win with the Pokemon that you love best. And though I just do these runs mainly for fun and also for financial reasons, thank you to my members by the way, I've been charmed by most of this team at one point or another to fully call it quits. Well, most of them. I still don't vibe with you, bro. Anyway, what can we actually do with Smeargle? Well, a little peek behind the curtain here. I typically make the grinding process go a bit faster in these games with some performance enhancers, but that's exclusively just to save time in the recording process, when the levels won't change anything about the run. But Smeargle, who can only learn moves via sketch, does require genuine training for twofold. One, I needed to teach it a move to actually do damage. In this case, rather brashly, I taught it Takedown, though thankfully at level 21 I was able to sketch the move Feint Attack as an alternate option. Those weren't for slaying dragons though, they were for slaying rats in the Sprout Tower. While strong Pokemon or weak Pokemon don't matter, maximising Smeargle's strengths with as many speed EVs as it can take absolutely will make a categorical difference in this run. That alone wasn't going to be enough though, as speed without anything useful just would mean I wasted my time. When we reached level 31 and could teach another move, however, this was the turning point. With some key research, I learned that some wild Mareep at level 15 know an incredibly valuable move. Thunder Wave, a fantastic 100% accurate status infliction to impede any opponent, which is great. But we could do one better. With some incredibly valuable luck in the bug catching contest, we have the chance of finding a Paras, and a Paras at level 17 knows the move Spore. When the stars aligned, obtaining these two moves in combination with Smeargle's incredible speed at this point changed everything. We had now crafted our key in the fight against Claire, because on this attempt, our Smeargle starts us off strong by putting her lead Gyarados to sleep. What gets even better is that sleep can last for 1 to 4 turns in this game, and the Sea Serpent naps the maximum amount, allowing our Corsola to chip away with Ancient Power, letting Gyarados only fire off a single Dragon Rage before we draw First Blood. Though our Corsola truly couldn't find it in its heart to quit out like I'd planned, as against Dragonair, we get an incredibly lucky Omni Boost. This tiny window truly flips the battle towards our favour, as through pure attrition, Corsola manages to continuously recover HP before taking out both of Claire's Dragon Snakes. Kingdra is threatening, undeniably so. But with this fight being a 6 versus 1, in congruence with our Smeargle safely incapacitating it with a Thunder Wave, our win was guaranteed. There's no hiding the fact that we got debatably as lucky in this fight than on our first attempt, but while we were effectively biding our time before the clock ran out on us the first go around, I had little doubt we'd prevail this time. Because while the message of using whichever Pokemon you prefer certainly rings true, I think the idea of training to be as good as you can be by putting in the reps is as equally as persuasive a motivation. Smeargle saved us in this fight, with its investment in its speed, and that's the ethos for the final leg of this run. There are 5 powerful trainers standing before our team's goal to reach legendary status. So if we wanted the best shot of winning, we need everyone at their best. By investing in the attack and speed of our powerhouses, the special attack of our Wall Breaker, and the defenses of our creme de la creme, we had the strongest version of our team that we could have. Combine this with some newly learnt moves across the region and in the greatest location on Earth, as well as eventually finding an Unown that can potentially clutch up for us against any dragons we see, and we were ready. Well below the level cap of Lance's ace, this was the best chance our team would have to earn a spot in the pantheon of Pokémon SoulSilver. First up for us is Will, who thankfully is pretty rudimentary for our team to tackle. The improved special defense of our Corsola lets us keep Jinx at bay with Power Gem. Delibird, ever since beating Chuck, has had the HM for Fly in its arsenal to fire off incredibly powerful attacks that help tremendously. Meanwhile, Sunflora can utilize its great special attack with Leaf Storm to obliterate Slowbro. This leaves Will's final Pokemon at the mercy of our team, with Stantler picking the bones with Headbutt for a dominant first win. I was starting to believe, and that resolve continued with Koga. Poison is a tough type for our team to take on, though Koga's reliance on bugs gives us easy opportunities with our festive friends, while Stantler can learn the fantastic pair of moves Zen Headbutt and Earthquake. This does unfortunately mean that we end Muck Monday prematurely, though it's only done so to celebrate Hanukkah. I forgot to write about KO in Crobat. Bruno was someone I felt that we had a direct advantage over, considering how good Delibird has been since learning Aerial Ace, meaning we could reliably slice through his fighters. But Bruno's Machamp had other plans, as I forget that no guard means your attacks always hit, no matter if we were in the sky. And that puts us in a pretty horrendous spot. If not for the fact that we get insanely lucky with paralysis and confusion from our Stantler, we'd have certainly lost our first battle this Elite Four against someone I was otherwise sure would be pretty straightforward, which is somewhat concerning. And unfortunately, this doesn't bode well against this game's defining character for this run. Karen might subscribe to a philosophy of using your favourites instead of using the strongest, but if using her favourites involves a double team Confuse Ray Umbreon, then how do I put it? No. Her team is quite obnoxious to try and conquer, made even worse by the fact that her Gengar is an actual nightmare. When it can't hit normal types, it's pretty simple, but when it can use Focus Blast to rip through the team, alongside Destiny Bond to take another one of our team to the grave, yeah, this was the first trader who truly stumped us at this point. Thankfully, we get some good luck on our third attempt, due to Stantler both outspeeding Gengar as well as avoiding a Focus Blast, which has the knock-on effect of it absolutely crushing Houndoom, letting Delibird fish off her remaining Murkrow and Vileplume. With the investments made and an extra attempt or two, we thankfully made it past Johto's Elite Four. But unfortunately, every single fight we've gone through in this game is child's play, because Lance is atrocious. He absolutely rips apart my team again and again, with no signs of life in a victory. His team is so quick, so powerful, and so well prepared for our fairly ragtag assortment that in pretty much every single world, this is an impossible ordeal for our team to stand up to. Lance can beat us reliably about 1,000,000 times to 1 with the team that we have. But that's just it, isn't it? We can lose 1,000,000 times over and over. We just needed our one. Okay, right, I think it's going to go for Ice Fang again. As long as this doesn't crit, Delibird should be in the clear. Okay, low health, but it's fine, because I believe we get the kill and we outspeed. Good start. Good start. Right, you could go for... Oh, you could go for basically any move here. Is it random move? You definitely outspeed too. You are fast. Oh, I think this is the end of the line for Delibird. But it still took down a Gyarados, so can't take anything away from it. Come on, Corsola. Okay, we tank it. Okay, right. Doesn't get the kill, but it does bring it into low health. Okay. Thunderfang is surely coming. I'm going to have to sacrifice Sunflora. Ooh, okay. So you're likely going to go for Hyper Beam or Dragon Rush. Now what do I do here? Okay, I believe the correct play is Smeargle. Okay, so now... Oh, I want to go into Corsola, but it's low health, and if it wakes up, we're dead. So I think I'm actually going to go, for some reason, with you. Okay, still asleep. Oh, you do outspeed. We would have... Oh, you would have slept through it. God damn it. Well, it is Hidden Power Ice. Maxed out special attack. Oh. It's not looking great, but we do outspeed. Please don't kill, please don't kill, please don't kill, please don't kill, please don't kill. Oh, okay. Right, we're still in it technically, but it's not an amazing circumstance. Right. Oh, Dragonite, level 50. I think there's only one out we've got. No. Oh, okay. Right, okay. Can't flinch you because you're in the focus. But we can at least do some chip damage. Come on, hit yourself. Just hit yourself. Unlucky. Unlucky. Right. I think the only way that we can navigate this now is if you are asleep. I need a 4-turn sleep, I think, in the most idyllic circumstances. Right, that's 2. That's 3. Okay, well, look, we're going to be able to heal at least. I just need you to either hit yourself in confusion or stay asleep. Please. Come on, please, please, please. Oh, thank God. Okay, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. And in Ace versus Ace. Oh, we've taken it down. Okay, come on. We can do this. We can do this. Ooh, okay, final Dragonite. Dragon Rush is coming. Okay, I need Dragonite to just... I need Dragonite to miss Dragon Rush or Thunder Wave, and there isn't many other win conditions here. I don't know. I'm just going to assume that a Dragon Rush is coming and just hope that we can just use some of the PP up. What, you go for Thunder Wave? Oh, God, I didn't... Oh. For God's sake. Right, what can we do? Thunder Wave ourselves, I guess? Spore? Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, you go for Thunder Wave for some reason. Okay, that's... You know what? Good for you. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on. 3v1. This has got to kill, though. This has got to kill. Oh! Okay, okay. It's not over. It's not over. It's 2v1, and it isn't looking amazing. But it's not over yet. Let's go for Surf. Oh! Brilliant. Okay, you heal. You heal. This should open it up for us. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, that does really good damage. I just went for Power Gem because... I don't know. I thought it would just get the kill, but I didn't know it'd heal again. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Right, no flinch. No power. Okay. Dude. It's so close. Oh my God, I've been here for so long. I've tried so many attempts. Oh man. Corsola, I need you to just pull through. Survive whatever attack it goes for. Hit a Power Gem. and get the kill. Come on, come on. Please. Please. Oh, come on, come on. Please, 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 please. Please. Fuck yeah. Oh, in a 3v1, we absolutely clutched up. Thank Christ, man. Dude, I can't believe we did it. I've tried this fight so many times. Corsola, man. We truly saved Christmas. I think that's what we were doing.